All right, I'm going to put this on YouTube and they might take it down. I don't know. But let me tell you this. I'm from Mississippi and lived in Louisiana. Grew up in Mississippi, lived in Louisiana. Lived all over Chicago, Jacksonville, been to Miami, blah, 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 blah. Lived in L.A. Whew. Do some math here, folks. It's just math. If a virus runs through my plantation, let's just say I got a plantation. I got 3,000 acres. I got 100 head of cattle, and I got 100 sheep, 100. Let's go in hundreds. And I knew that any virus that was going to run through any of my herd, my crops, my help, let's just say I had 50 Negroes on the plantation. It doesn't really matter. Do the math. And I knew a virus was going to run through the population. People was going to get sick. People was going to have the shits. People were going to cough. And old people and the infirm were going to die. Why would I, as a plantation owner, farmer, a politician, a statesman, somebody as a leader, to sit there and say to you, this virus has a 99.97% recovery rate. But if you take the vaccine, we're losing about 1 or 2%. Other than some slick guy at the co-op on TV telling me that I got to get them all injected. Do the math. A 99.97% recovery rate, mostly going through the old and the infirm and the fat and the overweight and those that are out of shape, and a 1 or 2% on the other. And we don't even know the numbers right now. We're watching the numbers. We're seeing the signals. And, especially if I'm there and watching athletic young animals fall dead on the court, on the farm, on the hill, or wherever. And that's what you're watching. That's what you're witnessing. Suddenly died. You tell me. I'm all ears, and I have big ears. You see these ears? Tell me how I'm wrong. When I first moved to Nashville, I worked with one of the most incredible nurses I've ever worked with. His name was Omar Jute. Omar could trace his family heritage all the way back to Georgia. And he had a man of color that was mistaken for a runaway slave in Boston Harbor. Not Boston, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. Runaway slave, Baltimore, Maryland, sent back down to the colony of Georgia. But anyway, I'm sitting there. Omar, incredible nurse. Omar and I said, Omar, you going to get that vaccine? He says, hell no, I'm not going to get that vaccine. And we were talking about the flu shot. I said, you going to get the flu? Hell no, I'm not going to get the flu shot. I said, why not? He looked at me. He said, you ever heard of the Tuskegee Airmen? Bingo. It went off in my little head from Mississippi and Alabama on down yonder. And so I started thinking about it. Started doing a little research. And as a nurse for 25 fucking years, I have. That's what blows me away. Do the math. It's not there. And so, like Omar, like Martin Luther King or anybody else that just cries for justice and math, just do the math. 1 troy ounce of silver is a United States dollar. You're 66 trillion of those now in debt. It's the television. It's the, they got you by the balls. That's if you let it. Don't let it. Just do the math. And think about, what I just said. If you're the plantation owner and it's your responsibility that everything grows And you got vegetables over here, you got garden over here, you got cattle over here, you got the help over here, you got whatever. It's your responsibility as the plantation keeper to make sure it's growing. You're not killing off your cattle. Unless somebody down at the co-op says, hey, you take this shot for $6, we'll give you 25. And go from there. They'll eat you out, and it's that simple. So, let me get that. Y'all better wake up.